decides it's good or not. But about my album, I have to decide myself all the decision, and no limit, like deadline. So it's sometimes for me it's more difficult to make my own album because for me restriction for me is the film composing film music is not restrict for me. The image and characters makes me compose music more easily.
We will talk about that with two clips from Drive My Car, but not right now, because first I wanted to talk about the fact that you, in your work as a songwriter, you work with international musicians, right? What does it bring to the music to work with people from different nationalities?
Yeah, I mentioned before, as I mentioned before, I was not interested in mainstream music. That's why I have to find the people who are interested and who respect the culture I care, and that situation makes me find the international musicians like Jim O'Rourke and the bassist Marty Holobeck, who played the bass in Drive My Car, and so I did not have ambitions to make friends with internationally, but naturally I had to find the musicians I can share the thoughts or the culture I care. Please.
Meaning, like whoever, either Japanese or someone who is from different country, whoever is okay. For her, it's just the important thing is to find somebody or to work with somebody who can share the similar vision, or who can value the culture which she cares. That's what she means.
Thank you so much.
So you mentioned in Drive My Car there is a bassist. You said who are the different international musicians that you work with on Drive My Car?
Marty Holobeck and Jim O'Rourke.
That's the two work on.
Yes.
So I think we can watch a clip from Drive My Car, and then we can talk about it and talk about your work on this.
Okay.
So, merci. So, well, yes. So it's the beginning of Drive My Car.
Yeah.
What can you tell us a bit about this composition that you made and your work with Ryusuke Hamaguchi?
I'm sorry. The question again. I'm sorry.
Sorry?
What is the question? Again,
what can you tell us about the work and how you work with Ryusuke Hamaguchi and what you did right in this clip?
Yeah. At first, Hamaguchi wanted me to make more dry and rhythmic music before his shooting. Hamaguchi wanted to shoot listening my demo, and I made demo, but it was very dry music for him. So after editing the footage until that scene, he wanted me make more music, like connecting the audience and the image. So I made again for the theme, the opening theme, and when I saw the scene, the Kafku, the main character, eating the bread in parking area, I felt like after tragedy, even after tragedy, he had to eat something, and he have to live, and I want to be alongside his exist itself, and I made music. I made this music.
And here we can hear also Dimor Brook and
yes. He didn't play. He played the acoustic guitar for this music, and Tatsuhisa Yamamoto played drums, and Marty Holobek played bass.
And was it easy for this movie to bring some international musician? Was it complicated? I mean, production-wise as well. Did you say, "Oh no, please have some Japanese musician because it would be easier and not international musician," or was it easy?
I was not requested, and I already made album with these people, so it's very natural for me to recording with them. So, and Hamaguchi knows them too, so it was not problem at all.
So we can have another clip of Drive My Car and then talk a little bit more about it afterwards, after watching it.
君は運転をどこで身につけた？
地元です。北海道の上十二滝村っていう車がないと何もできないところです。運転は母から教わって中学の時からしてました。
中学から？
はい。母は札幌で水商売の仕事をしてました。市内へ出る電車の最寄り駅までの送り迎えを中学の時から私は車でしてたんです。私の村から駅まで1時間、夕方5時に家を出て朝は7時に迎えに行きます。行き帰りの2時間、母はほんの少しでも寝たがりました。 起こすような運転をすると背中を蹴られて、降りてからも殴られます。それでどんな悪い道でも母を犯さないように運転を覚えました。
そうか。
言っていただいたこと、とても嬉しかったです。
いや、
運転を教えてくれたこと自体は母にとても感謝してます。自分のためだったとは思いますけど、教え方はとても丁寧でした。
そうか。
はい。
そうなんだろう、きっと。
So can you tell us more about this clip, because it's like the music is replacing the words at some points. So how does it how did you work on it?
I love the scene. The Misaki is talking about why she drives well, and it's very. I thought it's most important scene in this film, and I didn't want to make music for the scene because it didn't need music. It's already good scene, and after that scene, the montage started, and it's like the music can release the exploring the story itself. I love the scene, the connection of the two scenes. So I picked up this scene.
And it's a beautiful one. And also, how did you work with Ryusuke? I mean, how do you communicate your wishes? And can you also, because he has his point of view, he's a director of the movie, of course, but you have your also your point of view, your sensibility as an artist and a songwriter yourself. So how do you work? Did you speak the same language, actually, artistically?
Yeah. At that time, me and Hamaguchi was not close friend, but we communicated so long time. It's like before shooting, and it took so much time to communicate. So I can trust him, and he wanted. He let me make music freely, and I can send the many files, and he decided which music is good for which scene, and it was good way for me, and and I didn't want to explain by making music. I want to make distance to image from music. So, and he understands well about that, and he knows Hamaguchi has very strict idea of music about this film. So we can share the same opinion. I was lucky.
It was a lucky collaboration.
Yeah. Yes.
And since Drive My Car, did you receive any international offer for composing film music since this movie and the movie you made before, I guess, with Ryusuke Hamaguchi? So did you have international offers? Maybe you are going to tell us that you are working with an international director? No.
I'm working with a Thailand film director, Anocha Swijakompu. And I'm actually, after Drive My Car, I did not receive so much offer, but luckily I could work with Hamaguchi again for Evo Does Not Exist, and I am not so interested in making film music so many times. I want to work with the director I can trust. So maybe explain. She knows. She can explain more clearly about our opinion. その最後のそのこれからのそういうたくさん仕事をしたいと思ってなくて、そういう信頼できる監督とちゃんと仕事をできる。
So for her, so the most important thing is to work with somebody who can share the similar thought. So she's okay not to have many offers, so quantity doesn't matter. So she wants to focus on more quality with the people who work together with her. So, and she feel maybe now it's already happening.
Thank you very much, Eiko.
Thank you.
I'm looking at Milena now because we are going on the production side of music, film music composition. First, Milena, I wanted to ask you, because the idea is talking about the international, how music can be international and international collaborations. So, what does your scouting process look like when you are searching for global talent?
It's difficult sometimes because, actually it's not difficult. So in the beginning, when in an ideal world, there's the film producer, there's the film director, there's a crew, everybody's sitting around a table thinking about the project, reading the script and deciding, okay, which direction shall it go? Is it a lot of source songs, existing songs which we license for the film? Do we have a score composer? What kind of music do we want? And I think this is the starting point to think, okay, what music does the film need? And then you start looking, okay, who is the person who can deliver this kind of music, or who could come in with ideas, of course, and make an extra plus, I would say, to the film with their music. And then you start searching. And then, of course, you have an open mind and think globally, but then you look at the project and then you sometimes find yourself that you have borders because it's a European co-production. You need to have a DOP from Denmark, you need to have a composer from France because you have to spend money in France. So that actually limits your choices in a certain way. On the other hand, it's not only about financial things, it's also if you actually you just need to find the right person. So bringing in ideas, bringing them on the table, checking if people have time exactly, if they're interested. This is probably the first thing to do. And then, of course, sometimes you just have wild ideas and then it's not possible. But as I just mentioned, I think the financial or the production-wise aspect is definitely a big issue. Because I don't know how familiar you are with local fundings. Sometimes you have to have invoices from a certain part, so otherwise you would actually lose money. We have that in Germany with the GIMF, which is the state funding thing, and if the invoice does not come from Germany, then you're losing 30%, which could be a lot of money spending out there. So ideally you think of, okay, let's go for a German composer, or you find ways. So if you're a composer and you want to work internationally, you should have an agent or whatever who are possible, or who can make it possible that you could invoice from different countries. You should not open up an office in every country in the world just in case that someone asks you, but it could be an issue, of course.
And so how do you suggest composers or musicians from different countries to a director? How do you suggest them? How do you spot them, and how do you suggest to come to a director? Or maybe sometimes not exactly people from a different country, maybe from different backgrounds, like we just talked with Eiko.
As I just said, I think it's bringing in ideas, and I really, really like this beginning when everybody just brings in ideas and everybody's thinking about, okay, what kind of, do we need like a piano score, or do we need more rhythm or whatever? And then I come up with ideas, and then I'm Googling people and checking and asking people I know who are familiar with other composers I might not have in mind. And then we all put them on the table, then I'm doing playlists or just sending links. Okay, this is the composer, they worked for this, have a look at the film, and then you can see. Yeah, that's probably it.
And you just mentioned it a little bit, but can you get a little bit deeper into that? Because it's bringing a foreign composer onto a production is a logistical nightmare, because you mentioned that sometimes you can lose money if you don't have the right person to do an invoice. So can you help us to go deeper into this budget problem with having an international musician?
Yeah, as I just said, it's so horrible because it sounds as it's all about money. Of course, it's not. Yeah, if you want to have someone and everybody says, okay, she is the one, then you find ways, of course, yeah, to finance it. And even if you're losing 30%, come on, then you do something else. So it's not only about money, of course, but it can be an issue, and especially when it's tight, when the budget is tight and you don't have that much time, then of course it's an aspect. If someone is 11 hours away, and you have the time problem, but on the other hand, in the nowadays world, everybody's sending music around and files and whatever, so it's actually not a big thing anymore. But yeah, as I said, it can be an issue because you have to deal with contracts. You have to. If you testify for fundings, then you have to give them, of course, a list of the people involved, and they will, of course, check. And if someone is from a different country, it could be a problem. It doesn't have to be a problem, but it could be one. So everybody is aiming for the composer from France, but you need to spend time or money in Denmark because you have a French-Danish co-production. Then the first idea would be, okay, do we have an editor from Denmark? Could we have a DOP from Denmark? But then the director says, okay, my DOP is my DOP since 20 years. So then you're shifting around positions to fulfill the cultural needs of other countries. And when you work for streamers such as Netflix, Amazon, sometimes they have ideas as well because they want a female composer. They want a very young female composer. So, or they don't normally want a very old male composer, but so this comes in as well. So I think it's just it's artistically, it's one decision, but this decision about money and about availability also is a point, of course.
You want to add something, Eiko?
Japanese composers used to make music low budget, so.
Okay. Yeah, I think it doesn't. I don't mean that.
It's true.
Yeah, of course. But I think it's not depending on if the film has a big budget. It's also how big is the budget for the composer. Of course, if it's 10,000 euro and you're losing 70%, it's still 30%, but it's not that much. But if you have 250,000 euros for the composer with an orchestra, and you have to invoice the orchestra, which should come from Sofia, wherever, then it's actually a lot of money you're talking about. So it, as I said, it's not all about the money, but it is an aspect.
It's an important aspect, anyway. So how do you think we can change things? What should be done actually to make it easier, in your point of view, to make it easier to have these international collaborations, especially in film music composition?
First of all, I would think that besides the money aspect, it would be very good that people just get more connected, so that composers meet directors internationally. Of course, I have to say that because I'm on the board, but there's the World Soundtrack Academy, and in Ghent, the World Soundtrack Awards. She was there as well, awarded. And that's where people very internationally meet, because it's not so easy for, especially when you're starting or you're wanting to start a career as a composer, how to get to know directors. You can go to film festivals, very good idea, because you probably meet them at 4 o'clock in the bar somewhere, and you will never know. But I think it should be more platforms or more possibilities to bring together, especially not established composers, with young and upcoming directors. So when composers ask me, I'm actually telling them, go to film festival, watch films, because there's different trends. There used to be this classical piano thing in a lot of films. Now it's probably shifting. So, and you get to know people and go to film schools, meet film students who start their career, talk to other composers. This could be really helpful as well. So I think opening up platforms where people actually can meet could help a lot. And then, of course, we have to see and talk about with the governments and the political situation, how to make it possible that that people sort of like work internationally. When we're talking about Germany, why should the German government support that German films don't have German film composers, but people from all over the world? So it's a little bit, I think it's, there still will be the problem, which I just mentioned. So, but if you find a director who just wants to have this person, then you will make it possible.
You have done it already in your work to make something like that possible, or maybe on the other end that you had to give up an ideal collaboration just because of those problems you just mentioned.
Actually, no, it never happened. So nobody decided against a composer everybody wanted because of the money. And we just made it, but in this case, where I can't talk about it, but the composer is not from Germany, but she has an agency and they have an office in Berlin. So that's how we solved the problem. So sometimes this helps. But I think we would have chosen her anyway. So even if we would... I'm not the producer, I'm just the music supervisor, but I think we decided for her anyhow.
And do you think you mentioned the budget in movies for music composition? Sometimes it's not sometimes. A lot of time, it's not the biggest budget in the whole production of the movie. Again, do you have an idea to make that change as well, especially in Europe, for example, because to make the line on the budget for music composition a bit more, present.
That's a lifetime challenge, I would say, because it's as you said, everybody, when you ask around, everybody says, oh, music is really important. Really, really, really important. And then you check the budget and you think, like, it can't be that important, to be honest, because it's very, very, very low. And it's also for the composers, but also, of course, for the source music. Yeah, then you have producers telling you, you do a romantic comedy, we need 10 super hits, and then you check the budget, like 30,000 euros, it's not gonna happen. So we can buy one, but not 10, of course. So I think it has a little bit to do that music, everybody agrees how important music is, but it does not reflect in the budget, or people tend to believe for miracles, that the superstar is so eager to do this film that she will do it for 10,000 euros. So there is a lot of wishful thinking in there. And I can understand that. And from in an ideal world, the film producer would start financing the film, doing a calculation, which is the beginning with scripts and stuff like that. So, and then ask someone who actually knows how difficult or how cost-wise expensive music can be. And if you want to have an orchestra, then you have to calculate an orchestra, because an orchestra is not very cheap. If you just have someone doing a little bit drum patterns, of course it's cheaper just for the production side. So it helps to have to have a director and a producer to have a vision what they actually want and to know how to make that happen cost-wise. I think it's for young composers, they are often in a situation where they're not super paid. But I think could be different. It shouldn't be in general that people who are starting are not paid very well. But if you want to do this film and you need sort of like an entrance into that world, you would probably do it also for not that much money. But it can't be a habit that it's always the music budget which is too low. And people don't learn, sorry to add. So if you're working for a production, there's probably no producer here, some people don't learn. So you do something and the composer does it for 20,000 euros and I do it for, and we tell everybody into the project, and then you think, okay, next time they have 100,000 euros and then they have 20 and not 30 anymore, because it was possible to do it for 20. So I think in this case, it should be the awareness of music should increase.
Do you have questions for yes, I see, for Milena and
now the producers are coming.
Now you have problem with producers. but yeah, do we have? Oh, yeah, it's coming. The young man just there.
Hello, I'm Fernando from Peru, and I would like to ask you if you compose watching the film or you prefer composing not watching and then let the director to select which cue is better for which scene.
I like to make film music, of course watching the image, but I don't want to make music for exact the scene. It's like I don't want to decide the music, which music is the good for that scene. I want to make some music, and I arranged it, and I make some variations, and as much as I can. I always make many variations, and I send so many files to director, and I want director to decide the music for the scene. I hope my English is okay. Yeah.
Yes. Questions there? I don't know. Can you pass it? Thank you.
Hi, hello. My name is Veronica Sabag, and I wanted to say that, my God, Milena, I hear you. I hear you very well on everything you've said. So I'm the producer of an annual concert called Global Women in Music. We aim at promoting music written by women composers. We do this. We have done already 4 editions in New York with the United Nations Symphony Orchestra. So we have showcased so far 32 women composers from around the world. And funding is an issue, clearly. Clearly, it's a very complex production. We have 35 countries on stage each time. We are takers of talent, but usually we spot the talent, but we are also ready to talk to anybody here that would like to be showcasing this. Of course, we have some requirements. And wanted to share that we have produced a documentary about this international production. So we happen to be as well an accidental film producer. You can watch the documentary. It's called Global Women in Music, Composers Rewriting the Score. And it is about women underrepresentation still in the composition of music for orchestra, but also for film. Most of our composers are also composers for film. So if anybody is looking for composers, we have a huge, huge, huge list of that. And please keep on creating platforms that bring together composers and directors. We bring our we won awards on female empowerment at several film festivals. We bring our composers to the festivals, but I totally agree with what you said about bringing together and networking composers and directors. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi. I'm wondering, when you're working on a score with people who you are in the practice of making music with already, how much of it are you kind of just like in a room with them and just like seeing what happens, or like you have an idea and you trust them to like make their own parts, and how much of it are you actually like writing out, and is it different if you're not used to working with someone versus someone who you've made an album with already? Sorry, I don't know if that's clear. I'm just wondering, like, when it comes to creating a score, because it seems like she's working with people she trusts and has made a lot of music with. Is she? Because it's like composing it's a different process than like making an album with people. Is she in the room notating exactly what each player should be doing, or is it kind of just like you trust a musician, so you give them a piece you've worked on and they add like what they think would be good for it?
So meaning, so what you want to ask her?
Do you? Yeah.
Yes, because I want to translate to her properly Japanese. So I want to understand well about your question. So the point is, so you said the composing for the film music. Mm-hmm. Is it like a difference between the composing the film music and the creating the album? Or?
No, it's when you are composing for a movie, and that's it. When you are composing for a movie, how do you work with the other musician? Are they all in the room working together, or is she writing the partition for everyone?
Yeah, I guess I'm asking specifically like about trust with musicians that you've worked with before. How much is written out? Like how much control do you have over it, or do you just trust the people?
I understand. It depends on the music, but first if there's drum part, I play drum for the demo, and I made bass line, and it's like for the band sound, and of course strings. I write the scores for the strings, but if I make the variations the arranges. We play. It's like games. The next it's like for the next let's play like Morricone's this song, and we tried different arranges in the same room, and recorded all the variations, and after I edit or I mix them, and it's most enjoyable part for me. And after composing, and I always enjoy the variations, yeah. And it's I'm very lucky to have members to enjoy that arranging together. Mm.
Thank you. We have a question there.
Hi everyone, thank you for your presentation. My name is Sarah, I'm from Abidjan. I'm a producer as well, very new one, maybe just, my company has just 1 month. I used to work for 15 years in the investment banking industry, so the film industry is completely new for me, completely new, but I'm working on writing down my first movie, which is in the suburb area of Paris in the 90s. So, and you know how much music is so much important to create an atmosphere, especially of the 90s. If you heard, for instance, just some music like na 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 na, you know who is it? It's Gala. You are completely directly in the 90s. There's some songs like Gangster Paradise from Julio. There are many songs that I'm targeting for this movie, and they will definitely cost a lot of money. I know we repeated that it's not about money necessarily, but I think it's going to be a huge thing, especially for a first producer, for first movie. There's also the issue you just mentioned about international borders. For instance, if I'm producing a movie in France, but the music is from the US, or Gala, I think, is from Italy, so I'll have a lot of issues to find who to discuss with those rights. So it's about, for me, issues about the money, the budget, finding the right persons, and without those musics, I cannot recreate this particular atmosphere. It will not be the same. I thought myself, how am I going to do? Can I maybe sing myself those songs? Or I think I'll still have the issue about the rights, right? Because even if you sing yourself those songs or hire a person who sings very well, at the end of the day, I think you still have issues with the rights. So for me, there's still big issues, especially for beginners, for small producers who are trying to produce movies with a small budget. I don't know how to encounter those issues, but for me, they seem huge. I'm aware that those budgets are big. I'm not in conscience. I mean, I know how much it's going to cost. Some people told me, very experienced in the industry, that it could be 10,000, 40,000, even $500,000 for very famous songs. So I'm a bit desperate to recreate that atmosphere of the 90s in this movie, but it's something that I haven't found an alternative solution yet, so it'll be very interesting to hear from you if there are alternative solutions. And yeah, I think that's it. I will pause there. Thank you. Yeah?
I actually have a solution. Cleopatra Records. We have a lot of 90s material. They're not the original recordings, but we do have Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise, Salt and Pepper, Vanilla Ice, DMX. We have the hits. I've been doing this for 20 years. I got a lot of these artists back in the studio. We produced the tracks, and we cut deals with all the filmmakers. So
my new card.
Yeah. My new friend.
See, you were talking about creating space for people to meet. That's it.
I actually wanted to answer, you obviously need a music supervisor. Of course I have to say that, but honestly, you've faced the same issues everybody has, and even if you have a bigger production, no one can afford like 20 songs. So But there are solutions. There are a lot of French, besides Cleopatra, there's also a lot of French publishers and labels who have this kind of music. And maybe you just choose 2 of these songs and because I totally agree, especially when you have a period piece. Everything could be right, but the music is the thing which sort of like brings you into that time zone. So you need, if you do something in the 80s, you need to have original 80s music because everybody understands. Because you hear this certain 808, whatever, and you know, okay, I'm in the 80s. And hits, of course, help a lot because people know them, they are cling to them, they have an emotion because they remember when I heard the song for the first time, kissing my boyfriend, whatever. So that helps a lot. But music supervisor and this contact.
We could give you guys deals. As long as the publisher agrees, we have the hits with the original artist playing the music from the 80s, 90s, and also the 70s, too. And beyond.
Do we have a last question for... Yes, just right here. Thank you.
Hi, I want to ask, when you say, for both, when you say yes to a project, which is the biggest challenge that you know you have to face and how you find new ways to overcome it?
Actually, every project is totally different, so there is no such thing, to be honest, because sometimes it's the budget, sometimes it's a complicated situation, sometimes it's no time at all because everything is really tight and they call you very shortly before the mixing, and then you just have to make magic, sort of. So I can't answer this really. Of course, an interesting project, an interesting director, a nice producer helps a lot. But this is for all the world. Nice people make life easier.
That's true. More people should hear that, but yes.
Yeah, for me, sometimes it's if there is not so much time to make music, it's very difficult for me. It's like after editing, if I have to make music, it's like in 3 weeks. It's impossible for me. So I don't accept the offer like to film the project like that.
So we maybe have time for one more question, actually, if there is. Yeah, okay, just right here, please.
Hi, I'll try to keep it short. I'm Iman. I'm a freelance composer and orchestrator, and I have a question for Milena. I just wanted to know how you found yourself in the role of music supervisor. Like, what did the career trajectory look like for you to get to this point? And also, how do you find the talent to kind of bring into those meetings for those ideas processes? Like, how do you find the people that you end up putting on the table to pitch for certain projects? Is it through social media, word of mouth? What does that look like?
Actually, I'm not a musician, so I can read notes, and I have always had a lot to do with music. I have a radio show since 28 years on a German public television radio station, of course. I DJed a lot, and actually, I didn't like the music in German films. And then I was very young and very arrogant, and I thought, I'm going to change that. And then I had to learn a lot, because it's not my taste. It's about rights clearing. It's about a lot of many issues, and not about my taste. I had the dream like that I'm sitting there with the director, drinking wine, listening to old vinyl records. That happened 3 times in the last 28 years. So it's not, but anyway, so that's how I came in, and then I started working, and then I learned more and worked more. And because of that talent, I think it's with everything. When you're in a system, people recommend other people. You find people while listening. You watch films and think, what's this interesting music is in there? What kind of composer is that? So I think it's a mix between all, but I'm also listening, of course, to recommendations other people give to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you very much, Milena. Thank you very much, Eiko, for
Thank you
this
so much.
discussion.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.